I want you to know that I will not sleep until this person is found. I hope they get you, and I hope they make you pay.
One day after the community of Orange Park buried 7-year-old Summer Thompson, the sheriff leading the investigation into her murder warned the public the killer could be in their midst.
Police put the entire neighborhood on alert. They believe someone knows something but is not coming forward.
Investigators believe Summer's killer is likely exhibiting changes in behavior or giving clues that the people around them might not recognize.
Unexplained injuries such as cuts, bruises, particularly on the head, arms, and hands.
While the sheriff didn't expound, that information suggests when Summer's body was recovered from a Georgia landfill, there may have been evidence she struggled with her killer.
The guy who did this is a sexual predator. He is a psychopath. He's probably a manipulative guy. He probably lies. He probably is very narcissistic, and he probably has no empathy. If you know a guy like that, regardless of whether you know if he's done anything shady in that days before or surrounding Summer's abduction and murder, you should definitely report that to the police.
We are taking your calls live. Out to you, Mike Brooks, former Fed with the FBI. Cops are convinced that someone has the key to this mystery. Who took Summer? Now, why are they saying that people have seen something and they don't realize what they've seen?
Because, Nancy, if it's someone that you're close to, many, many times you don't realize the changes that you're actually seeing until someone says, hey, is this person your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend? Are they acting differently? And you say to yourself, you know what? Once they read that, they say, well, you know, he is acting a little bit different. Oh, you know, he did just shave off his mustache. Oh, you know what? His hair, he hadn't gotten a haircut. And it's interesting, Nancy, because they say a suspect could have made one or more changes in his or her lifestyle. Again, we can't rule out a woman in this case.
Let's unleash lawyers. Doug Burns, former Fed, now defense attorney out of New York. Carmen St. George, defense attorney also out of New York. First to you, Doug Burns. Cops are convinced there are individuals with information that have not come forward. Weigh in.
No, I mean, they're asking for people to say, look, who didn't show up for work, who's acting differently, as Mike Brooks explained, who shaved off.
Don't you remember this latest case of Annie Lay, the graduate student? Her alleged killer was covered in scratches that day.
Yeah, no, there's no question about it. And the fact of the matter is, I'm not, you know, it's a fine line between asking everybody to really use their eyes and ears versus, as you've highlighted, and I think you may be right, that they really think specifically that somebody knows something. So that's a tough distinction.
And also to you, Carmen St. George, you've seen plenty of cases like this. Investigators say that 90 sex offenders have been interviewed, but they didn't say any of them have been cleared.
Well, of course, Nancy, I think those are the main suspects because clearly she was abducted and she was killed. It has signs that somebody had been casing the area, saw an opportunity, took her. She was by the abandoned house, and within a 3-mile radius, at least 57 registered sex offenders reside.
Back to Tiffany Griffith, WOKV. What can you tell us about that abandoned house? What evidence, if any, has it revealed?
Well, they're definitely still testing evidence that they pulled from the house. They have wrapped up with that house at this moment, so all the FDLE trucks have pulled away. Right now, they are scanning that evidence, and we'll learn if there's any connection between Summer's disappearance and what might have gone on there.
I want to go to Dr. Michael Bell. Dr. Bell, the Palm Beach County Chief Medical Examiner. Cops are still waiting on crime scene evidence to be returned from the lab, from that home. What do you think?
Well, chances are they may have found some stains, looking for DNA that they want to compare to Summer or any of the other evidence that they gathered from her body.
Well, this is what I don't get. I want to go back to you, Pat Brown. Why are they so focused on that vacant building, that home?
Well, I think the main reasons are she went missing right there. The home is available to go do something terrible inside of it. And they got that creepy dude who's a sex offender working on the house. And we see lots of times that we have these handyman workers or construction guys who just show up for the day or two and they see an opportunity.
What do you know about the worker? What do you know about that?
Well, just what we heard before, that he supposedly was a sex offender, but they haven't said any more about that.
To Samuel Thompson joining us tonight. This is Summer's father. Samuel, what are police telling you about that vacant home?
Well, they're not telling me a lot. I was told that there was some soot found on her, on Summer. And soot, you know, it was a burned out house.
Yes.
And I was told one time that they found some soot that possibly came from that house, that she may have been in there. And but other than that, you know, the information that they're putting out over the air is the same information that they're giving me. You know, if they had more information, you know, they can't just put it out there.
No, they can't.
You know,
they can't. Although they are saying, Dr. Lillian Glass, psychologist joining us out of LA, they are saying that they are sure that the killer is watching the coverage, our coverage right now. And it reminds me of the BTK killer, bind, torture, kill, who had volumes of newspaper articles and actually communicated with the media about the case.
Exactly, and this is the whole thing. They could be extremely narcissistic, sociopathic, and it's interesting because this is their only means of communication. They're getting a vicarious thrill out of this.
Freak. Out to the lines. Monica, Georgia. Hi, Monica.
Hello, Nancy. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for calling in, dear. What's your question?
I have a question if they've done a DNA workup on Summer of any evidence, and I don't know if the Thompsons are married, if it's possibly an ex-boyfriend of the mom or someone associated with the family.
You know, Mr. Thompson with us is Summer's father. That's where every investigation starts. They look at the parents, the father, the mother, then it goes out to the neighbors, the relatives. I'm sure that the police have already investigated any, especially males, that are close to that family, whether it's a boyfriend, you, the dad, or the milkman. Every man that is connected to this family is likely been investigated by now.
well, that's true. The first people that came to my house was the FBI. You know.
And you cooperated fully.
Oh, certainly. You know, when you are missing your daughter, anybody who will reach out to help you, that's who you want. You know, you cooperate and you give them what they need to do their job, to find your lost loved one.
Watch out, we're coming. We're gonna get you.
For 2 days only at Joseph A. Bank. Everything